Hi, I'm Katherine Wilber. I'm going to share with you my blue ribbon recipe for kolaches. A kolach is a sweet dough filled with fruit filling. Kolaches can be served for breakfast, mid-morning, lunches, and mid-afternoon supper or dinner. The formal weddings, funerals, or christenings, and a must at all Czech holidays and festivals. And the ingredients are 1/4 cup warm water, 1 tablespoon sugar, 1 tablespoon flour, and 1 tablespoon dry yeast, 1 cup skim milk, 1/4 cup dry potatoes, 1/3 cup vegetable oil, 1/3 cup sugar, 1 1/2 teaspoon salt, 2 egg yolks, 2 1/2 to 3 1/2 cups flour. And the suggested fruit fillings are apricot, cherry, poppy seed, and prune. Before we get started mixing our ingredient, I'd like to introduce my helpers. They're our grandchildren, Laura, Jacob, and Andrew Wilber. Thank you. What we will need first is 1/4 cup warm water. Thank you, Andrew. You pour that in the mixing bowl. To that you will add the 1 tablespoon sugar. Sprinkle it around. Also a tablespoon of flour, which is sprinkled on top. And you'll need 1 tablespoon yeast. That also needs to be sprinkled. And the reason you add the yeast last is so that it does not drown, but yet we want to swirl this so it gets moistened. And we'll put a cover on it and let it rest till it gets bubbly, about 2 to 3 minutes. Then in the blender you will measure out 1 cup of skim milk. Thank you, Andrew. To this you'll add the 1/4 cup dried potatoes, the 1/3 cup sugar, and you'll need 1.5 teaspoons of salt, 2 egg yolks, and I like to blend 1/2 cup of flour with this. We'll blend for about 1 minute. Then you'll pour it into the mixing bowl with the dissolved yeast. And you'll add 2 cups of flour. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're 1/2 cup measures. The reason I don't like to put all the flour in at one time is because it might be too much for the liquid that you've have in here. It's better to put in less amount. We need to stop the mixer and scrape the sides of the bowl. And I see we'll have to add more flour. I'll add about 1/2 cup more. You want this dough to be light, soft. It may be kind of sticky, but after it's risen, it will have a nice texture. It's coming around real good. I think we better stop and scrape the bowl again. I see we'll have to add more flour. I'd add about 1/4 cup. Look. It's pulling away from the sides of the bowl, which you would like to see it do. You want a soft dough. The softer the dough is, the lighter the kolaches will be. Well, I think we'll have to add just a little bit more flour. It's just a little too sticky. This procedure takes about 2 to 3 minutes. There, I think we've got it all enough. It'll look like this. It'll be soft and sticky, but after it rests 45 minutes, it'll be okay. It'll make your kolaches lighter, and we'll cover it and let it rest for 45 minutes. While that's resting, we're going to get our counter ready so that we can roll out the dough and grease the pans. I like to take some flour and sprinkle the freezer wrap. That's what I use on the countertop. I see the dough is risen. We turn it out on the floured board here. Fold it over a few times. You can work just a little bit more flour in. I notice this is just a little sticky here, but not, you've got to work it kind of gently. Now we'll cover it again and let it rest 5 to 10 minutes. And while the dough is resting, we grease our pans. And now we'll take and cut it up into small portions. It's pretty sticky, but that'll make our kolaches a lot lighter. I enjoy baking. I bake for family and friends. I like to bake for the grandchildren. You want to determine the size of these so that if you were taking to contest, that they'd be all the same size. That's what the judge looks for. Like to roll them with the flour first. There. I see they're nice size, so now with oiled hands, we'll go ahead and re-roll them. And then you'll set them on the pan. I like to pat them down a little bit, that way they won't mound up so. Now I'll have Laura roll some with oiled hands. Very good, Laura. Now we'll have Jacob finish it. Thank you, Jacob. And now we'll cover it with wax paper and let rest 5 to 10 minutes. These have risen 5 to 10 minutes and they're double in size. I like to take and oil these. The reason I oil them is if some of the filling would get onto the dough, it's easier to clean up. Now my mother showed me by just taking your fingers and making the indentations. But I like to use the back of a spoon. And you just push it around. When you're making these indentations, you want about half the amount of dough pressed down and the other half fruit filling just to come even with the top of the edges of the dough. Sometimes you have to work with it several times because they like to close up. That looks nice. Okay, then you take your favorite filling. I like apricot. You want to put lots of filling in, but like I said, not a lot to where it would mound up over the dough, just kind of. Okay. The amount of filling could be anywhere from a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half, depending on the size of the kolach. Then there's a crumb topping that kind of finishes the kolaches off. There's recipes for the filling and the crumb topping included. Now we'll have Laura do these three. Go ahead and grease them first. Oh, that's a good job. Oh, she likes the cherry filling. There, that's good. Oh, you do such a neat job. There. Now we'll need a little crumb topping. There. Thank you, Laura. Now, Jacob. Awesome. What kind are you going to make?
Poppy seed.
Poppy seed. Oh, that's good flavor. There. You've been practicing. You've done real well. Now the brush will, yeah, just, there you go. There, very good. Oh, thank you, Jacob. Now we cover them with wax paper and let them rise for 10 more minutes in a warm place. These have risen for 10 minutes. They look nice and light. They need to bake for 8 to 10 minutes, Andrew, in a 400-degree oven. When they'll come out, they'll be golden brown and ready to eat, shared with a cup of coffee or a glass of milk. These are fresh from the oven. They're golden brown, and we need to butter them to keep the crust tender and moist. We had good luck today. Sometimes if you don't have good luck, you just have to keep practicing. I congratulate anyone that's learning to bake kolaches. We need to see what the judge would say. Oh, they're all right on the bottom. You want them golden brown. Now these are ready to be served to our family and friends with a cup of coffee or a glass of milk.